Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we bring you the latest news, information and analysis from the world of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the BRICS. Now today I want to talk about a new modern gunpowder plot carried out by the Chinese and how it's going to impact the USA, the EU and the conflict in Ukraine. Now, one of the most famous, or should I say infamous, figures in British history is a man called Guy Fawkes and his gunpowder plot, in which he was alleged to have plotted to blow up the British Houses of Parliament at its state opening by the King. I mean, even today, November the 5th is known as Guy Fawkes Night. By the way, his attempt was unsuccessful as his plan was leaked and he was arrested and then executed. However, many people believe he is one of the few men who've ever entered the British Parliament with honourable and honest intentions. If you see the type of people who now occupy the benches in the British Parliament, you'd be inclined to believe that he was actually the last honest man to enter it. Now, it appears that China has a gunpowder plot of its own and is disrupting the EU, US, UK's ability to blow up anything. In fact, they'll be lucky to blow their nose. As usual, the EU, US, EU, UK have shot themselves in the foot over China. And China's disrupted the supply of raw materials to Europe for clothing, but additionally the production of gunpowder has also been impacted. China's long been known as the world's garment factory due to its strong, efficient and low-cost light industry, and particularly in clothing. This is thanks to its vast cotton fields and a suitable climate. Now, recent events which were not widely publicised have made this circumstance even more significant. Cotton linters, also known as fluff, are a byproduct used as the main ingredient of nitrocellulose, which is an essential component of explosives. According to statistics from the Financial Times, Europe receives over 70% of the cotton fluff it needs for ammunition production from China. I mean, the primary importance of this material are in Germany, Sweden and Belgium. Now, before I continue, I'd like to make an appeal. If you like and enjoy my videos, you can help me fund the channel and my website scobricsinsight.com to further develop it. You can do this by making a small donation, which is done by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the screen. Everybody who donates does get a personal thank you from me, and I'm thanking you all now. Now, currently the Chinese are the largest producer and supplier of cotton, while India and the USA are in second and third places respectively. Uzbekistan, which traditionally supplies Russia with cotton, ranks only sixth behind Brazil and Pakistan. Now, nitrocellulose and ammunition production is pretty crucial. I mean, nitrocellulose is a crucial and critical component in ammunition manufacturing. It's also become a point of geopolitical tension. Nitrocellulose is used in the propellant powder and is necessary for both firearms and artillery. As the outgoing EU Internal Market Commissioner Thierry Breton noted, the region is encountering difficulties in sourcing these raw material. Gunpowder production requires a specific type of cotton that's primarily sourced from China. However, supplies of this cotton to the global market have ceased unexpectedly in recent months, a bit like the rare earth metals, I suppose. Now, South China Morning Post has reported that the cessation is due to concerns over the military use of this cotton, which contradicts Beijing's stated position. I mean, essentially, China recognises who's responsible for escalating the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and it's not Russia. Now, the newspaper reports that Europeans are concerned about the halting of cotton supplies and are threatened to impose secondary sanctions on banks and companies in China that continue to trade and do business with Russia. Now, it's worth noting that the ban on the exporting of cotton fluff to the EU can be seen as a response from China to Europe and the US's sanctions, which are imposed sometimes without ever considering their consequences. I mean, the EU recently banned the supply of certain goods for the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China, citing the oppression of Uyghurs' rights. It's important to note that the region produces over 80% of the world's cotton. I mean, the EU's dissatisfaction stems from China halting these supplies from the region. Kaja Kallas, the Russophobic head of the EU's alleged diplomatic service has already commented on the issue of cotton. At a conference in Brussels, she highlighted that all the gunpowder fluff is produced in China, as the European Union has no longer got any cotton plantations. Now, gunpowder production requires cotton. It's no longer produced in Europe because it's cheaper to buy it elsewhere. So she said, therefore, EU must focus on restoring its agricultural sector for cotton, which has completely disappeared. She said developing agriculture is a positive step towards achieving this goal. For instance, she said, Polish farmers could consider growing cotton instead of apples, which are no longer in demand. It's unlikely that the French farmers will stop striking and plant this popular crop in defiance of China anytime soon. But given that the EU has declared war on its farmers, it's unlikely that any of the farmers in any of the countries are going to support their moves. Now, excluding cotton as a military raw material, its primary purpose is not actually related to its market value. I mean, despite reaching a peak of 1.508 per pound dollars, cotton's price has declined. It's now only just under $1 per pound, fluctuating periodically within a sort of sideways range. According to Trading Economics, this is cotton's at a 3-month low due to the weekly export sales and a strengthening dollar. I mean, according to the latest report from the US Department of Agriculture, a 4% decrease in sales and exports of cotton in the global market over the last couple of weeks, and a 10% decrease compared with the previous quarterly average. Now, the report maintains that cotton supply and demand forecast for 24-25 is at 2.5 million bales. Additionally, global stocks for 23-24 were decreased by 300,000 bales in April, primarily due to lower stocks in West Africa, Australia and Brazil. Now, the US agricultural division does actually anticipate an increase in cotton supplies from China. I mean, the International Cotton Advisory Committee predicts an increase in trade there. So global trade in cotton is expected to continue to grow. Furthermore, the Cotton Association of India and the Cotton Corporation of India have revised their cotton production estimates. And they are thinking they're going to be upwards. So unlikely that cotton prices will experience a significant decrease on the global market. So it's just about ammunition, really. So, I mean, the medium and long-term trend for the cellulose fibre is more important, and that remains lateral. I mean, it's only because there's armaments has now become a major and crucial industry, that this nitrocellulose. I mean, China and the US produce all their own nitrocellulose and cover their needs, while Europe has its major dependence on China. Now, according to analysis, Russia's recently doubled its purchase of nitrocellulose from India, China and Turkey. You also notice that China's chemists have been working for 20 years on developments to make it possible to produce nitrocellulose from flax, wood and even from non-narcotic varieties of hemp. It appears that flax gunpowder is more energy intensive and allows you to make a projectile lighter and more accurate. So a replacement for cotton as a raw material has been found, and it's now up to the manufacturers to find a way to make it commercially viable. I mean, according to Nicholas, the need for gunpowder is only going to continue as the West continues to rearm and industrial production of gunpowder and flax and wood cellulose started last year. Now, I'm not sure about what the production volumes are because they're being kept under wraps. But as usual, the Russians found a way, and the Chinese have found a way to piss off those who impose sanctions on it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and if you hit the alert button so you get notifications when I post a new video. And if you want to help, click on the donate thanks button, and see you next time. Thank you.